Yep, we're recording. Thank you. All right, building committee meeting. Call to order. Confirmation proper notice.
Notice posted on third according to statutory requirements.
Okay, roll call.
Okay, we have Monica, we have Pat, we have Steve, we have Thomas, and we have Dan. And Chris, no one's on Zoom, huh?
No.
Okay.
Approval of the minutes.
Read through them, move to approve as written.
Second.
That's because he didn't know it.
And when it didn't, like we corrected it this morning. It was one mistake, typo. But you had a second? Okay. Anybody opposed? No. All right. We're good.
Where are we getting that much?
Is that your phone? I used to do that in my business. First thing we do at a manager's meeting is sit down and say, everybody taking that phone out to our office.
I don't think it was mine. Was it? Oh,
No, you're right. Project steps.
it's about to start. And Pat, you'll be the first one in Woodlawn if it's posted. Yeah. For you. And you're the one that has the worst percolation of water. So it's starting on yours tomorrow morning. Originally the 8th, we had to push it back for notification purposes and things like that. We got a little backed up in the office with not having the secretary and everything, so. Tomorrow. Not anymore, but we were for about 3 weeks.
I walked over and took a look at 519.
I did too.
I don't see any problems with it.
I do. You see the cracks right along the front? They're at the top of the steps on the right.
I didn't see that.
There's a gap. No, not on the building, on the outside edge. There's a,
Then,
you know,
but I was gonna say, just for informative reasons, I think it should be.
well, my thought on that was, well, do we want to do that now or is that?
Well, it's
under
all part of the
ownership?
slab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Well,
had
take it
a-
under ownership.
Yeah,
Let's take it under.
We'll do it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the project starting tomorrow, got the schedule, so. Do the worst ones first and then go on from there. Electric issues.
Okay, recently the temporary ground straps have been replaced at 38, 39, or 40 and 41, whatever, 38, 39, I guess it is, and pool 5. So that's been replaced. We still have them at 432 and 33, and we still have one at what is it? 138, 138. And we have a 571. With 571, there's a schedule with FP&L on the 23rd of May. So it's still becoming an issue.
Well, I think it's gonna continue until we get them all.
It's every single unit that will need this eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Unfortunately, because the way the lines were buried and everything else, they're just 40 years old and maybe even older.
46.
Yeah.
47.
And what that is, in case everybody doesn't understand, it's power comes in, FP&L brings it to the transformer. For the transformer, it takes it to a thing called a handhold, which is below the ground. And from there, the power is spread out to each unit. And what's problematical now, the wires are failing from the handhold to the meter, and that's the association's responsibility. So it's rather expensive to fix it. The last triple cost us $6,000. We put in a $50,000 a year reserve for that type of thing. Yes.
Is there any way to save money to be proactive about this? Or
No.
it's gonna cost what it costs regardless of whether or not we address it.
Yeah.
They need to speak up a little bit.
Speak up a little bit, okay.
Yeah, we don't have the speakers out.
What I was saying is I was wondering if it would be a cost benefit to schedule these upfront proactively, or to just address them as they come. What kind of downtime are we talking about when?
For the units, yeah.
Very, very minor, because what happens is FPL comes out, has to turn the power off while they're making the connection. So it could be an hour, that type of thing.
Okay.
But most of the work is done before that happens. In other words, the digging and that issue is.
Well, between the initial, when the first failure takes place and when the power is connected, what are we talking about?
It
Oh,
varies.
one took a year. It's all FP&L's issues.
No, I mean,
Now, it's not only what we do,
when you're.
we
when
have to
you're-
make appointments with FP&L.
Right, but when you get in a failure today, and you discover that you need your ground strap replaced, when do I get temporary power back?
Oh, right
All
away.
within a
Okay.
couple hours,
Okay,
the most.
so it's very little downtime overall.
Yeah.
And it's not total loss of power.
Yeah.
You lose the ground and you lose the higher power. In other words, your lights work and everything else with the AC and stuff.
So that don't go down in July and August.
Hope it fails in the winter.
So, no, it's very minimal time.
When you
Okay.
say knocked out, does it mean?
Totally.
Totally?
Yeah. Shut it off.
But when they reconnected it, they
Yeah.
were working it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, they got working.
So it's
You
one
want it.
phase.
I just didn't understand what you're.
Okay.
But that's something else for people that aren't here also, that's something else that whoever's checking their places should be aware of.
Yeah.
Well, if they walk in and it's 90 or 100 degrees in there, they're gonna know something's wrong.
Right, but the first call would be an air conditioning company rather than,
Yes.
is there a way that they can
That was my first call.
do something so that they don't call air? Is there something else that is visible or not working that they would know?
They could turn on the stove,
They can turn on.
turn on,
A lot of the lights will work.
but turn on the oven to see if the oven works.
Yeah.
Well, this is again goes back to, if you have this right type of condo watcher that would go to that level. So many people open the door and look and leave. So, I mean, some people don't even have condo watch.
All the lights were, the things that were off were the air conditioning, the water heater, and my small oven. My big oven worked.
Oh,
Depends on what circuit on. But the AC, the AC. in the
AC went
summertime,
totally off.
Yeah, it's worse to go off, yeah.
Would the breaker flip at all?
No. I thought it was the air conditioning unit when we looked at it, because there was no power to the air conditioning unit. I made an appointment. They're telling me to try to check a few things.
Yeah.
They told me to check the drain to see if anything was in there, and I sucked the gecko out of the drain. That didn't bring it back.
All right. Flooding issues.
Okay, well, we've designed the plan for those who are, again, not familiar with it. There's the flooding issue in behind in cluster D, behind cluster D in Sherwood, where we put a series of pumps in. It still hasn't cured the problem. Over the years, the ground has come up and even covered some of the outflows from the units. And we devised a plan where we're going to take the water from the north and take it north, because now it's being pushed down south with everything else. And then we're going to put bigger evacuation pumps in there. We have to rent a piece of equipment that will help move the turf and the dirt, and it'll all be in-house. And we're scheduled probably a week from now. Does anybody with questions on that?
How long are you gonna have that?
It's good. We're gonna be able to use it in 2 or 3 places. It's $140 for the whole week. So
Over by Dan and that place, between B and C, it'd be nice if you could run that, it's gonna be a ditch there or?
well, more of it, yeah,
Drain.
it's not gonna be you know, a piece of equipment's gonna be yeah. The ditch witch probably.
Fact, it run 2 or 3 times back between on, because the other day when that rained hard. There's a sinkhole like right behind my place that it's high and it can't get to the drain. So if it was like a swell or something.
Well, that's what we thought that's a good idea. So you're up to 140.
140.
Okay, we'll take a look.
Next, carport discussion.
Why don't we table that? Good idea. Yeah.
As stated last meeting, we started looking into it. We had well, I'll let you talk, because you talked to the guy.
Okay, a gentleman representing a construction firm came in and always interested in talking to new people. It turned out that they do screening work. They're a licensed contractor. They do gutter work and they build carports, among other things. And he wanted to go back and talk to his boss to see if they would be interested. And they have a lot of interest, quite frankly, in such a way that they said if we could somehow get together with whatever we put together, they would be able to build a sequence of them and keep a price versus escalating over a period of time. But that's all we're at right now, really. They understand that they would say that the only thing that would look different, because we have to match our architecture, there's no doubt about that, is that their ceiling, instead of being spaced in there with a rolled roofing type, they have a solid ceiling that they put in. But you would never see the difference as far as looking at it. And we wouldn't have to worry about having the soffit underneath that comes down and storms and things like that. So it would be a solid piece. As I remember, we were talking of roughly $10,000 for a 4-1.
Per unit.
No. I thought it was $7,000 per space. That's what it was. That's
Real preliminary.
real preliminary.
We should probably set up a meeting with him. What if do we get him to come in the next building
But
meeting?
he said he'd be happy to come in.
Well, we set that up for the next building committee meeting for him to come in and we'll.
Well, I think, we've got to research
Yeah, where?
architecture. I'm sure that they're not just gonna come out and build something without some sort of.
Sure.
So, plan that everybody can decide upon. There may be some legal issues to research.
Yeah.
And it would seem to me that you almost need a little budget if you're gonna start looking into things, or at least go to the board and say, hey, we're researching this and we may need $5,000. I mean, we've got money coming in from the cable thing and other things going on that could be utilized to, because if we don't put a step forward somewhere, we're going to sit and talk about it all the time, And I presume everybody's here is interested in carpets.
Yeah. And the owners, we are
Gonna pay.
responsible for paying.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And will they be maintained by the HOA like the current ones are?
Our documents say so. There again, that's another thing to be looked at, but that's what our documents say now.
I spoke to a couple of companies and really at least 3 companies were interested. But they would ask for pictures, so I'd send them pictures. The biggest problem was matching it, the exterior. It wasn't so much building it, it was just kind of matching the exterior. One company said we only do like a slight slant on it so water runs off of it. But that was what I found so far, stuff that I've done.
Well, that's the legal end of it. I'm sure, come on in.
She's good.
So
Do we, does
There's
the
no way
HOA
you
have a
need that.
lawyer?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I figured you probably did.
Yeah. But we'd have to ask the questions we want to ask if we're gonna, you know. And, like I say, the biggest thing is gonna be placement, the biggest thing is gonna be challenges for view changes. There's, it's not just
Yeah.
cutting it up and do it, yeah.
We went out and we looked and we didn't see too many spots. Well, I think it were two clusters where we really didn't have room, so to speak. And I forget which ones those are, but I have,
We got them someplace.
yeah, I've got. Actually, I think it's my iPad.
I think we came up with what, about 32 spaces? We could probably get in,
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
maybe more.
Do we want to send out a email to find out who wants them, so we know what clusters to look at? That's,
I was gonna say, maybe
It's all
there's
part
one
of it.
cluster that has 10 people who want carports, and none of them has one.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And then we have to look at the clusters and see where. Because if it's the one we're gonna put it in front of somebody else's place, we're gonna have to have their permission.
Are we? We don't have permission to look at the one in the middle.
Are we gonna, have a vote eventually within the cluster? Is that how it's gonna work? Or, how do the residents decide, you know, if it's a good plan or are they just getting a?
Every question we get is correct. Yeah. You know, and
Well, it's like in our cluster. All right, let's just take H for the heck of it. The only spot, I don't want to put anything on the visitor spots, of course, you know, right at the very front. Because that's totally blocking the view of our cluster if anybody looks out. But Tom, from inside the cluster, I don't think it's a good spot to put him, but Tom, who wants one, said he would be fine with putting 3 right across in front of his place.
And the visitors are only gonna be here for a day.
Yeah.
It's not like their car is gonna be exposed to the sun repeatedly, like the people. Oh, that's, oh, okay.
Not in our case, but,
I was gonna say, we don't have it.
Well, can I just say that Wildwood Springs is a beautiful place. There are many, many beautiful things to look at. And I look at everybody else's carports right now. I've never complained about them. They're not very good looking, but they're okay. And I don't have one. I would like one. My husband and I would like to own one. You know, to protect our car, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, I think it's, I don't think it has anything to do with any view. I mean, if it blocks traffic, I understand, but a view, I think that's a self-serving, attitude.
Well, we
And I
also
think
have to
for me,
communicate with the
I
fire
would rather
department.
see the residents get something, you know, it's 1977, our cluster was built.
Mhm.
And there's been no changes to that, and, you know, there is room, I mean, I don't know, if we had to, would we put one in front of ours? I mean, we're not gonna object because it's, you know, there's other places that are so beautiful, a car doesn't matter, the parking lot is not a big deal to us at all. And coming in and out of it is, so, unless it obstructs the traffic.
Well, we have to check with the fire department on
Okay.
Yeah,
it as well.
there's probably rules about how many
Oh,
people
there is.
they have to be apart.
There is.
that'd be part of the
Ours,
code.
ours
Be
is
part
one
of
of
the
the
code.
very tightest. They come around the back side and mine is, they are like borderline. Dennis, I think so.
Yes, they can. It's
Technically-
been ruled, if I can, it's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
ruled that if you block someone's view, that has it, they can negate it.
And how expansive is their view? One space? Yeah. 10 spaces?
Yeah, I mean, the courts have ruled people have had trees taken out.
Yeah, you walking with the kitchen window, I see nothing but the courtyard, the forest.
Yeah. It's a view for most people. I would think, would be-
Taken back.
Or you're
looking
at the
woods
or
Some people might fit fine, put it there. I already have my carport over there, but if you want to put one in front of me,
Yeah.
some people might say that, but others might say, no, I don't want to look at my kitchen window.
Yeah.
Carport.
Even for something as simple as numbering the car smart spots in some of the clusters, you need 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
You need unanimous consent from everybody in the cluster.
So it's a lot of obstacles, but
Yeah, there are a few obstacles.
I think we probably at this point need to find out who wants them at least. And so we have an idea of what clusters. And then we can start from there. So you don't think we should have him in or yet, or?
Or we can concurrently, we can send an email blast out between now and then and get a good feedback. We probably have somewhere a list of 18 to 20 people that have just said, I want to have a carport someday if you ever do it. So, I mean, I would say that you're somewhere between 30 and 40 people that would be interested. That's my guess from the people that everybody that I interviewed that comes in. And of course, I do interview everybody that comes in or interested if they don't have it. Every single one of them.
You get one of
Some people have two.
I have to.
You want to?
He's president, that's why.
When you vote him out, you get his carport.
Yeah.
All in favor?
That was one of the reasons my dad bought the place. It's the biggest unit. I got 2 carports.
He was a wise man.
Yeah. Well, he had been visiting down here and had with friends and had his car parked out in the sun and realized that is not a good idea. And, so
Can I move to do an email blast of?
sure.
Just the poll of who has a carport, who doesn't have a carport.
Or just who wants.
Just who wants it.
Just who wants it.
We don't-
Yeah.
Who wants one or two? Some people might want two.
Yeah.
People who have 2 cars who live here full time, the husband and the wife still work, they may want 2 carports.
Yeah.
Or people who every day is Saturday.
Well, I think everybody should at least get one, if you're asking for a carport,
Yeah.
one.
Should we include in the email that the carport would be between $7,500 and $10,000? Just to give them an idea.
I agree.
Yeah, so they have an
Yeah, I'd
idea.
go on to higher. Approximately.
Yeah, I mean,
'cause,
they'll just
you know.
be at the flat.
Okay. Make sure you say at this point in time.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Approximately, you say approximately.
Approximate.
And
Yeah,
is
we
there a
can-
way to blast out? I mean, you're dealing with this one man, but are we sure this is a good deal? Do we reach out to other
Oh,
contractors?
we
Well, yeah.
have to do
We
that.
have to do that. We have to- Go ahead.
The dollar amount estimate, does that include the cost for legal?
Well, that's, no, that,
Well, that was impacted, you know, I mean, any expenses we have now, we could go back and recover would be a good idea to track it, yes.
Not under to know if people say that's carport, then you get deed changing and all that paperwork. Yeah, how much is additional?
oh, for, yeah, you have
If
to
you build
pay
it,
the
you own
state.
it, right?
Yeah,
You own it, then it's gotta be transferred.
To your title.
Worked out.
Yeah, your title and your,
That'll come from the attorney as far as what,
Yeah.
you know, what has to
Maybe
be
he'll
done.
give us a group rate. You never know till you.
yeah, that, your cost estimating is tough because there are extra costs. You gotta register it with the,
Yeah,
County.
if you put them in the front, in an electric outlet for some of us who are looking for e-cars in the future that we can don't have to run any lines, that we can just plug them in.
Well, there's one electric hookup on one of our carports, and they have their own meter.
Yeah, that's Bob Dell, that's Bob Dell. But FPNL just sent out something, this is really amazing, of course, this doesn't really impact us. But for $38 a month, they'll put a double, you know, a level 2 charger into your house or in your garage. unfortunately, I don't know that it could, I don't know that they could put it into a carport.
Private home.
But that's a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
$38 a month, is that just include the installation part or?
That's everything, plus the power.
That's not.
But that has nothing to do with us, unfortunately.
No, you charge your neighbors $20.
We just went down in electric cars. One of our owners who just bought an electric car
There we go.
a year ago, got rid of it real quick. He loved it for 6 months.
Yeah. Limitations. Okay,
All right, email blast, is there a second to do this? All right, do we, then, in your report to the board as chairman of the building committee today, do you say, we want you to consider some sort of budget for us, or is that premature?
What is that budget gonna pay for? Just the
Well, I mean, legal
investigations?
fees, legal, I mean, you know, I
But
mean,
that could be passed on to the owners eventually, right?
well, yeah, that's why I'm saying, that's why.
Okay. Yeah, we can.
Well, I mean, we can't call up the attorney and ask for this, and this, not expect to get charged.
Yeah.
Those days are long gone. Back in the 90s, you'd call up and say, hey, we got a question for you, and they'll answer. Now,
Yeah. That's how it goes. No, the question takes 5 minutes. The bill comes in a half hour.
Yeah.
So have 20 minutes worth of questions.
These are questions.
all right, then the
Yeah.
where, we know there's a one.
Mhm.
Where is it? If there's 10 and I say, you're not gonna get 10 and I.
Well, that's why we gotta start someplace.
Gotta find out,
We gotta find.
because you're all represented, I, H,
Yeah.
J.
Yeah.
So we're gonna.
No, we're spread out here. Spread out a little bit. Okay. All right, well, we'll start working on that. Dennis, who'd you talk to? Have you given John those names or?
You please do.
As soon as I said you gotta match this.
Yeah, a lot of them just want to put up a prefab building.
But I don't think it would be that hard to match.
Well, it's just gotta be built a cinder block and then you gotta have a stucco guy.
Number of ways.
Yeah. A lot of the companies just had the pre-made things, just want to come in and stand them up and say, there you go.
I don't even know if you'd have to have block.
Let's.
You need something that.
Well, yeah,
I think you
but
would
I mean,
want
if they had some other form, a steel or something, you could just stuck over. I mean, as long as it matches, but that's another legal question.
Well, that would be. That could create a legal problem down the line if a hurricane comes through, it takes out those carports, it doesn't affect the cinder block ones.
True.
Really?
And we just look at all these poor new people say, that's yours. No, kidding. But. Yeah, let's start by getting that and let's. Then we
Okay.
can talk about whether we want to bring him to this meeting.
Well, I think
That's a little premature to get him in.
the sooner we could develop some plans. I mean, he may not be the only one. We want to bring in 2 or 3.
Well, yeah.
I mean, when we did the stack pipes, we had all kinds of plumbers in here before we decided on one, you know?
They can meet each other.
Right.
So it's good to know who you're talking to here. Makes the bidding better.
Okay.
One question, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's gotta be a couple of places in the association where you're not in front of somebody's building, right?
Absolutely. There are a couple.
And those would be easier to get approved, at least the neighbors wouldn't, I mean, you wouldn't have any objections probably.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, we've got 4 or 5 of those
Yeah, there's
Sure.
4 or 5 places where it's
Right.
just not intruding on anybody.
Right.
I don't know that we still would need the permission from everybody in that cluster, or,
Well, you're modifying the common elements. I believe that, that
Probably.
here again is another question for the attorney. But it is a modification of the, you know, of the common elements.
so we might, run into certain people who,
The same ones you always run into.
I wasn't gonna say that,
Yep, I already know them.
but yeah.
But you're gonna run into them, so, yeah.
So, we'll check with the attorney on that one. Be one of his questions.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is get a heavy investment, time and or talent or whatever,
Mhm.
and then find out that
Somebody
it's-
says no.
Well, not only that, but you want to find out what are the parameters for the yes and the no. I mean, is it a 60% vote or, 90% or 10% or what?
I'm gonna ask them that email if they have objections immediately, or you're just asking who's interested? You wanna collect?
I think we want to get a general idea of who's interested in,
Interested. Yeah,
because, if say nobody in W wants it.
Right.
Then why even, maybe the best cluster to put them in.
I mean, there could be somebody clear on the other side of me that, we put one in front of me or whatever, and then the other side doesn't want it because they look out at from across the cluster. I mean,
That's the binoculars.
no, I mean, you could have all kinds of
I know.
luck, you know what I mean?
Agreed.
Range
Oh,
is
yeah.
tough.
I know, Greg, Sago, he's gonna come
Be on the
be
meeting.
on Zoom, so did anybody come in on Zoom today?
No,
Oh,
Okay, he's over in the, Pine.
Palm tree.
He's across from me, 4-9 Palm.
Yeah, he was. He's interested.
Yeah. Well, like I said, John and I spent some time. I have a list of what clusters, how many, where they are on that cluster, and
it'd be nice if it messes up, matches up.
matches up. Yeah,
So we'll have- that's it.
but I do remember there was like 2 clusters that it just wasn't gonna work. Yeah. But let's find out who wants them, and then we can.
Right, well, guest parking, we have 6 spaces there on the way out. Nobody, it's rare that anybody.
Yeah, I know.
do that, right?
Yeah.
The only problem I have with that exit is going out the right. I never make a right turn into the right lane. I go into the other lane because there's just not enough room to make that turn.
It's a tight turn.
That's a tight turn.
Swing wide.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a tight turn with the ropes up.
oh, yeah, yeah.
One question out of that, how long was that supposed to drive?
Yeah, somebody,
Yeah. Well, the guy was in. I saw the guy that moved the cones finally, but the ropes were already down before that. And he came in yesterday and moved the cones over.
The company that did it,
Yeah,
how many, do they say, well, we gotta leave them up for 24 hours?
well, they leave them up as long as they feel.
That's not right.
No, they came out on Sunday. They came out Sunday during the day and moved them over.
So people do.
No,
No, that
Their
company,
guy was here.
oh,
I saw. But
they wanted 48 hours, what they were striving for.
Yeah.
That was my question.
Yeah, that was the striving point was 48 hours.
and that was.
Well, so it was fire hydrant.
Yeah,
No, that's not.
All right, we made progress.
that's great. Thank you for considering all that. It's really important. Yeah.
One space in our place that the new guy that just moved in above me. He's not even using his space. Parks
Is
in
that
front of
right?
it. Yeah, he's parked right in front of me. I was gonna ask him, you got a space over there? He got a black car too.
You wanna rent it out?
They'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Maybe you'll have 3.
yeah.
Flexible.
All those requests.
All right, we have one owner's request, unit owner at 519 has put down a special type of paint on the walkway to her unit. And she's asking not to have the renovation work done on that slab. Now that obviously the whole program was a two-phase underneath, fixing everything and assuring that everything is stable and all the support systems are in order. That was taken care of. And now secondly, we want to prevent water and moisture from percolating down through the slabs where there are cracks.
Or worse, through the next unit.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
That's
yeah.
happened too.
Yeah, that's also it.
And
All part of it.
Yes.
But the main thing is we want to protect everything.
all
And-
our investment.
And
I looked at her. I went up and you,
I did too. I
yeah,
didn't see
when you
it.
get to the top of the stairs, just to the right, at the end
Okay,
of the
so at the
platform.
end-
Yeah, you can see there's a big gap there.
I was looking between
The wall,
the wall and the building.
Yeah.
But that's critical too. because
yeah, that's
where it
critical
seeps
too.
down.
I mean, I think we need to seal them all and put our paint on it. And if she wants to come back and have it redone, I don't personally have a problem with that. Yeah.
It's the same if you wanna put tile on or something else, it's,
Yeah.
no. It's not.
It's not yours, basically.
Technically, it is not.
it's a limited covenant. That's
Yeah,
correct.
down L.
Is it the paint, like no slip paint or?
Yes,
something
oh yeah,
like that?
yeah,
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's,
She's worried about falling.
no,
Oh,
no, she just likes the color,
oh,
but she
okay.
painted.
And the
It's a
colors are-
sparkly.
This is-
Oh, that's the color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she's got gray.
Yeah,
Gray.
she's got that garage floor paint, the
Oh.
sparkly gray. You know, with those sparkles in it. And, how
put some money in.
That's bottom line.
much money does it cost to put down that paint?
I don't know what Jackie charged.
Probably is.
Oh, yeah, the paint's expensive, it's true, probably $50 a gallon.
But the whole point, we have people with tile up there, carpeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pebble.
Pebble rock,
stuff,
yeah.
All that stuff is, a lot of that stuff is really heavy and it's
Wow.
adding to the.
Stress on the structure.
stress on the structure.
Especially tile and poly pebble, because
Yes,
that stuff will be coming off.
Okay, you wanna make a motion and we
I move that we. stick
do what
to-
we do and we stick to it.
We stick to what.
The same thing for
The same
everybody.
thing for
Same
everybody.
thing.
I second.
Anybody,
Do we need to vote? Anybody opposed to that? Like I said, it didn't really matter to me, but I'm all right with it.
As many people may know, all right, so that's a yes, right?
That's a yes.
As many people might know, because this is a building issue, I'll bring it up as long as we're talking about 519. On a matter with the roof, over 519, there was an issue of repair, still is an issue. The owner called code enforcement on the association, stating we didn't follow proper permitting to fix the leak above her unit. Code enforcement officers were out here and we took pictures and they got up on the roof and they looked at everything, and turns out that her allegations are incorrect. That anything under 100 square feet does not need a permit for repair. So all the repairs we've been doing over the years are
We're in good shape.
in good shape. Oh, yeah, oh, no, she more or less inferred to her insurance company that the roofs weren't maintained properly, so they disregarded her claim.
Even her, she stated.
Yeah.
She stated, yeah, and now she's claiming against the association. We have to submit it to their general liability policy. I've submitted the claim. Well, she submitted the claim. We opened up the book for her to do it. And she submitted the same scenario to them. We haven't heard yet from them. I presume we will.
you don't know if they have approved it or not.
No.
at this point.
Well, we know that, that there's been some issues with the roof. I mean, the roof, don't forget, their original roofs. But they've, the number of calls and the number of expense we've laid out is really minimal compared to with the age and everything else. What happens is in the research, we found that this, surface that we rolled on, not the rolled roofing, but the material applied to that silicone base, has a tendency, if there's a prior repair, maybe from 1980 or 85, it just develops a little split. And you never know what's going to happen because it's all covered up. But 90% of the issues we've had seems to be on a seam where something happened below, and the expansion and contraction causes it. The biggest leak, we found one today, like a hole like this, but looks like the stick hit it or a wrench hit it. Most of it is just not even, well, even 519's leak wasn't as big as this, and the split was half of the size of the panel.
Any other owners requests?
No.
Tiffany?
Any changes with the taxi contractor for the?
He's not back
cluster?
yet. The son's not gonna do anything till he gets back.
Okay.
So we're just gonna work over it. I mean, we gotta make it right, so.
So,
Our biggest problem there is the glue that they use or system is up underneath, and that's gonna be an issue when we get to it. Cause it's, but he has said he'll make restitution, so.
okay, so we won't be in the cycle with Sureway, we'll.
I will almost gonna have to be.
In the cycle with Sureway? Okay, so. there's a
Everything you're gonna find.
possibility that maybe folks won't have to wait until.
Oh, no, they won't. Oh, no, no, that's true. We're gonna get those done. Yeah, that's figured in the budget.
Right. Committee comments? Oh, very good. Owners' comments. We just did those.
They're still supposed to be coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did.
We were in the parking lot until 9:30 last night, nothing.
They were,
They were through your cluster, shortly after 5.
We were in the parking lot.
Yeah, you
We
were
have-
partying big.
So we were in the parking lot from 3:30 until 9:15 last night, and nobody came through.
I saw they came through our area and STU just shortly after 5, and I saw them head down toward yours.
They may have headed down there, but they never came through.
Okay.
that's good to know. I'll pass it on.
And then if there's an issue with the pool, are we calling the office
Both.
period, or do we call them direct?
I should always suggest the office.
Just the office.
No, I say the office and them, but you will get a response from us.
After 5.
After 5, call both.
Oh. Before 5, just the office.
Have to be, you still need somebody?
We're a hair short, yes. I don't know. I haven't seen Leslie. Did she collect?
I don't know. I haven't seen.
The cost was $350 and we've already collected 280.
Let's read something. Where I,
350.
350.
you had
Yeah, no.
80, I gave 20 extra.
Yeah, but it was still, well, I'll go. It's in my drawer. I'll count it. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
But yeah, I
And
think
for those who didn't know, we had the big
$50.
the beehive that was the size of 6 basketballs, I think. Were removed.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was
It was
Oh, down by
pool
pool one.
beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean,
How about honeybee?
Yeah, honeybee.
Who got all the,
I was gonna say.
The beekeeper.
The
Are we?
beekeeper, I got a picture of that.
The commercial pest control people wanted $600 to $800 to take it down. We called Suncoast Beekeepers, and I talked to a gentleman who was on their board, and he did it for $350. And then he probably got 50 gallons of, I don't know, Brad Stills, yeah.
Got away from the goat tree on the other side. Opposite side. Oh, there.
Did you see that?
In the tree, yeah, yeah, I was told that the other day, yeah, we may have to do something there soon. Run up there and fill it with caulk.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's amazing the way they constructed.
Oh, yeah.
And I hear between 6 and 6:30, I guess all the bees are home.
Well, that's what he said. He wanted to do it after, around 6:30 because most of the wanderers are home for the day. I said, yeah, I figured that they must have happy hour like everybody else.
And they didn't invite us.
No.
This way.
Here you go.
Yeah. Anything else?
Next
Here,
meeting,
motion. Oh, next meeting.
Most committees have been jumping May and go to June, but that's up to you.
Well, do we wanna?
Oh, it's up, I mean, like I
Well,
said,
let's get the questions to the lawyer.
Thank you, June.
Yeah, let's go for June.
Okay.
If something comes up in the carports, maybe I can call before that.
okay. We thank you all for coming.
Yes, thank you.
Is Dennis still there?
No, Dennis,
Dennis.
Dennis,
Oh,
Yes, yes.
Hang on, I'm dragging him back.
I just wanted to know what time he was gonna be at the church and if he's got a way to get into the church.
I'll break into the.
apparently the
12 o'clock.
handyman is supposed to be available.
Okay, cause I wanted to get there about 1 o'clock.
Roger's taking care of
I'm
it.
going at 12 to set up.
Yeah.
17th of June would be the date. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, I go.
that'll work.
All right.
17th of June.
17th of June.
Yeah. Yes, it's a Monday.
It seems to work out well for us.
Yeah.
Same day as the board meeting.
That gives me get this meeting over with, and I go to the hot tub.
Chris is gonna be there, I guess. He's doing the Zoom meeting.
Chris, you gonna be there?
No, but I'll make sure it's Zoom.
You'll make sure it's Zoomed, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Is the camera gonna be there? He asked me if I wanted to run the camera.
But Jeff's gonna bring that stuff over there.
Okay.
Is he bringing the mics and everything?
Yeah, he's supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause I'm going over at 12 and I'll set everything up.
You'll have plenty of time.
Adjournment?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
No, I don't think we did that.
Move
No.
to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. Second?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'll be on it.
nobody opposed.
Nobody opposed.
Okay, so Stephen. Just noticed it today on the pickleball courts. There's exits.
That's all the marks of the bad spots. And if you see more, I would mark them.
So. Is it not gonna be done as a tear out?
Probably not.
We are getting,
We're getting estimates. We talked to,
it should be in this week.
should be in this week.
Cause we know how much moisture is underneath that thing. And if it's not done correctly, you know that in 2-3 years, you're gonna end up doing the same thing again. And you end up spending the same or more money.
One of the proposals coming forth after my conversation with them is to build a small 2-foot wall between with a footer between the lake and the back of the pickleball courts. And he said that he feels that that's probably would be the best way to keep any further moisture, erosion, or anything like that. Moisture, I think, all would get through because of the porousness. But I mean, as far as physical washouts, yeah, that's what he's gonna pin his thing on to put the more or less the blockage wall, and then you got to work on the rest of it from the inside. Yeah.
hole.
Well, that was my thought, you know, is once we find those spots, is drill a hole.
And let the moisture come up and out.
Well, I don't know that, I think
Matter of
it's more of
pump
erosion than
down.
moisture. You know, I don't think we have any active water. Do you,
I don't
really?
think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It-
I just
The
know
lakes
that it
haven't come
seems
that
like
high
every
since
time
for a
we come
year.
back, more and more areas that either are cracked
Well, that could be
or
just,
you have dippage.
Yeah,
you-
it's
the
dippage, yeah.
yes.
and
um,
that's, a lot of that's probably from when they were totally flooded and the ground underneath
Correct.
was saturated all the way up.
And I hate to see us put in,
Oh,
I
I
don't know
do
what
too.
you're looking at right now,
Yeah.
just, and I'll go minimum. I hate to see us put in, just say 100,000 to do this, and this, and then a couple years from now,
Yeah.
well, it really didn't do what it was supposed to do, and now you gotta put in another 300,000-400,000, and I'd rather see it done. I know it is partially my money, and you're gonna hear from people, well, I don't play pickleball. Okay, you don't. I don't always go to the pool. But when you came here, you knew that the
Yeah.
facility had
Yeah, we understand.
pickleball, tennis, and pools.
Yeah.
And those are things that we need to maintain.
I thought we took care, or kind of alleviated some of the overflow from this pond by the drain pipes.
Well, it seems to be functioning because Steve and I check it on an irregular basis, but we check it after on at time. Yeah. The, and well, we're in a drought. We don't know what the summer's gonna be like. We're still in a drought.
You're hoping not.
We've seen that pool well with a foot underwater for a week.
Yeah, no, that's, of course, yeah, and another thing he's bringing in is 6 permanent courts. So he's proposing. Well, he's giving us a proposal. It's gonna be a lot of,
That's a lot more flexible.
Protection, yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
protection. No, they're not gonna put fences in between the courts.
Yeah.
no, but he's talking about the center fence that's in rough shape.
No, I think she was
In
talking,
between.
Yeah, I know,
okay,
yeah,
In
yeah,
between the two,
yeah, that's gonna be a fencing company different,
yeah.
you
Cause
know.
the old saying, you pays me now or you pays me
Oh, yeah,
later, you know?
no
it's,
doubt, no doubt. No doubt, we're getting.
Let's spend that money from Spectrum real quick.
Doesn't take long, does it?
You've already spent it.
You got the money you saved by not replacing the road, right?
Well, that's reserve, yeah. Of course, this is a reserve issue too. Of course, we got probably 10,000 in there and you'll probably need 50.
Yeah.
For what?
Have Tom open his wallet
Courts?
again.
I don't know, I'm just 35.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
Here's another wallet. See, don't act.
Oh, okay. Now we're in good shape. Thank you. I'll give you exact tally in a second. Thanks, Chris.
thank you.
Okay.